Hello and welcome. Today we are going to dive into something truly beautiful, the classical idea of knowledge, or ilm. We're going to explore it not just as, facts and figures, but as a source of light and life itself.
Right off the bat, our source hits us with this powerful idea. Just think about that for a second. Knowledge isn't just something you have. It's a light that actually guides you. It's the very thing that pulls us out of the shadows of confusion and into real clarity. This one sentence really sets the stage for everything we're about to unpack.
All right, so here's our game plan for today. We'll start with the light of knowledge, then see why it's an everlasting treasure. After that, we'll walk the path of the seeker, understand the importance of honoring the teacher, and finally, we'll look at the flip side, the shadow of ignorance.
So, first up, the light of knowledge. Let's talk about this divine spark.
Okay, this definition is so important. Ilm isn't just about cramming information into your brain. It's about seeing something for what it truly is, perceiving its reality. The source even calls it the life of hearts and the nourishment of souls. That tells you this is something way deeper than what we typically think of as knowledge. It's essential for our very being.
And here we see its protective power. Knowledge isn't passive, it's an active force for good. It's like a shield that pushes away not just physical problems, but the sickness of the soul and the mind too. It's something that lifts us up, keeps us safe, and brings out the absolute best in us. Next, let's get into why knowledge is considered a treasure that lasts forever. Wow, this comparison is just so perfect, isn't it? Think about it. Material wealth, money, possessions, they come and go. You can spend a lifetime gathering it and lose it all in a heartbeat. But knowledge, that's a whole different kind of wealth. It's something you carry with you on your journey that never, ever runs out. It becomes a part of who you are, and that's a treasure nobody can ever steal from you. The great scholar Imam al-Shafi'i just nails this idea. He says his knowledge isn't locked away in some box or stuck on a shelf. No, it lives inside him. It's portable, it's personal, and its home is his heart. It's with you at home, at the market, literally everywhere you go.
And here's where it gets really profound. We're talking about its lasting impact. The source points to a tradition that says when a person passes away, pretty much everything they did stops, except for 3 specific things. And look what's on that list: knowledge from which people benefit. This shows that the true value of our learning isn't just what we collect for ourselves, but what we give away. A legacy that keeps helping people long after we're gone. So, we know what knowledge is, and we know why it's so precious, but how do you actually get it? Well, that brings us to Section 3, the path of the seeker. It's all about actively cultivating that garden of the mind. I absolutely love this quote. It just completely shatters any idea that real understanding comes easily. It takes work, it takes dedication, staying up late, not just scrolling, but actually learning. You can't find pearls by just splashing around in the shallow end, right? You got to dive deep. And true knowledge demands that exact same kind of commitment.
And Imam al-Shafi'i gives us the super practical roadmap, 6 keys to get there. And notice it's a whole system. You need the intelligence and the eagerness to get started, sure. But without diligence, that steady effort, and just giving it time, that initial spark is going to fizzle out. And you absolutely need a teacher for guidance and some provision to, keep you going. It's really a complete toolkit for anyone who wants to be a lifelong learner.
And that last key, the companionship of a teacher, is so important that it gets its own section. So let's talk about honoring the teacher. This slide really puts the role of a teacher in perspective. They're seen as doctors for the soul and farmers for the mind. It makes perfect sense, right? You wouldn't go to a doctor for medicine and then just ignore their advice. In the same way, you have to honor your teacher to truly get the benefit of their wisdom. They aren't just downloading information into you, they're actually nurturing your spirit.
And the poet Ahmad Shawki takes this idea to another level with this famous line: "A teacher is almost a messenger." Wow, that's the level of respect and reverence we're talking about here. It's seen as a sacred role, building not just minds, but character and souls. And this is exactly why that guide is so critical. The source gives a serious warning here. Trying to navigate the giant ocean of knowledge with just books, well, it can lead you way off course. Without a teacher to help you connect the dots, things can get tangled up, and you might end up even more confused than when you started. A good teacher is your navigator. All right, now to really truly appreciate the light, we have to understand the darkness. So let's move on to our final section, the shadow of ignorance, which is described here as a disease of the soul. Look at this comparison. It could not be more clear or more stark. Everything that knowledge builds, ignorance tears down. Where knowledge elevates us, ignorance brings us low. Where knowledge is a guiding light, ignorance is a blinding darkness. The source is absolutely unflinching here, calling ignorance a fatal disease for people and for whole society.
And the poet Ahmad Shawki drives this point home with an image that is, well, it's intense. He says ignorance is the most destructive disease a people can possibly face. It's a pretty sobering reminder of what's really at stake in the choice between learning and, well, not learning.
So, as we bring all this together, a really clear picture starts to form. The pursuit of knowledge, from this viewpoint, is so much more than just a school assignment. It's a lifelong journey. It's a noble pursuit that genuinely enriches our souls, brings us closer to understanding reality, and ultimately gives us the tools to benefit all of humanity.
And that brings us to our final thought for today. We've talked about knowledge as a light, as a guide, and as a treasure that lasts forever. A treasure you carry in your heart, not in your pocket. So, the question I want to leave you with is this: what treasure are you seeking? Honestly, there is so much more wisdom on this in the original text. So if this sparked your curiosity at all, you should definitely check out the full source material. We've put the link for you in the description below. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into the splendor of knowledge.